them right where they're at,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and just, you know, treat them as, give them respect and dignity, which everybody really is entitled to have.
Sure, sure.
You know, and you know, people there, they have mental illness. There's just such a
wide gamut of things as far as
now. We do have people from the community come in to the shelter and serve meals. You know, I would say that just about 5 nights a week, pretty much we have the faith-based community, different churches, synagogues, the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts. They'll come in and they serve a meal to our clients, and you know, get to know them, talk to them, and really, it's a nice kind of a bond that develops in that way too.
Sure, sure. How about like during the Thanksgiving or any of the holiday seasons? I'm sure a lot of that goes on, right?
Oh yes, the holiday season is really our busiest time, and because people from the community, you know, they become more aware of giving back at that particular time. So we do have wonderful volunteers who come in for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and they bring gifts, and you know, it's all wonderful, wonderful. I would love to see this throughout the year.
Sure.
You know, because it's not only during the holiday time that we need help and
a little support or whatever.
And support,
sure.
But it really does go throughout the year.
Now, where is the facility located right now?
Jeanne Peak is at 200 North Water Street in Peekskill.
Down, so that's all the way down. It's down by the waterfront.
It's all the way down by the waterfront. It's on a little dead-end block. Perfect, out of the way.
Got the Hudson River in the back as a little venue.
We have a beautiful view, and it's very close to public transportation, and it's really tucked away where it's sort of out of sight, you know. And we just sort of go about our business very quietly down there. I think let's talk about one of the problems that we may face.
Well, what could be
future.
something exactly for what's in the foreseeable future? Where do you see Jeanne Peak House going, or problems associated? Like where do you go? You've attained this now. What's next?
Okay. Well, Jeanne Peak has been at 200 North Water Street for, you know, long time, 19 years. And as you said, we have this beautiful Hudson River view. And it's very, you know, much in demand.
Right.
So there was, you know, a couple of years ago, we had this redevelopment scare.
Right.
Redevelopment of the riverfront in the city of Peekskill, which is terrific. You know, it's a great thing.
But at the same time. Right.
You know, they wanted to redevelop us out of the building, out of the area.
Sure, because it was going to be built up for condos that overlooked the Hudson River, so I'm sure they were going to go for minimum $450,000, $500,000 a piece and up, I'm sure. So it's prime real estate in that sense.
Yes. However, you know, there's still a need for this community organization, which has served the community so well for 2 decades. And my feeling is that once the economy gets a little bit better and the redevelopment kind of, you know, the revitalization of the waterfront kicks up again, what I would like to see happen is that the city embraces us as a vital part of the redevelopment and doesn't try to shunt us aside, but really wants to, you know, embrace us and say, okay, let's, you know, put it, you know.
Is there another example of this where are there other shelters where they've incorporated that in, whether it's in Westchester County, up the line, Dutchess, Putnam?
Actually, I'm glad you asked me, because yes, there is. It's called Safe Harbors on the Hudson, I believe, in Newburgh. And this is a story of a, you know, a woman who this old hotel that was a flop house, a crack den, and you know, it was just terrible.
Yeah, miserable.
And she really revitalized the hotel, and she made it into a mixed-use building. So that part of it was rooms for homeless people, but the other part were art studios.
Oh, I see. So an art loft type of thing.
And also some retail.
Down on the first floor. Also, it's a mixed-use building in a sense. So, like on the ground floor is the commercial tenants, and then you have. And
then upstairs is the shelter and the art loft.
Wow.
So I think, you know, Peekskill being, you know, so having such a great artist community.
Exactly. We already have that designation of being an artist community.
It would be such a great idea, a great use to sort of replicate that down at 200 North Water Street, where we could sort of all work together.
Sure. Instead of just getting rid of it, actually incorporate it into that whole revitalization plan.
And I really feel that that is a real community builder. And like I'm all about building bridges and building community. So
have you seen so far? How do the elected officials, are they supportive of it, or have they been, or does it go up and down on, you know what I mean? Do they kind of stick their finger to the wind and see which way it's blowing, or? Well,
I would say that the current administration is phenomenal, great, and very has been a great support to Jeanne Peek and to CHOP.
Right. Which is nice.
Oh God, you don't know how nice that is. It's really wonderful to be, accepted as, a vital, useful organization. Somebody, an organization that's doing good in the community.
Well, so other than the building, I mean, do you plan on, if that's not the case, let's say where, the redevelopment plans say, you know what, sorry, you're out of here. Is there another spot? Is there another venue? Do you move to another city? Do you move to another locale? Or do you think that's too dangerous? Because there's always the NIMBY factor where, not in my backyard type of...
Yes, so it can be any of the above.
Anyone willing to adopt.
Yes, and that's when when we come to that challenge, then that's something that we would have to address as a community, as not only as an organization, but also as a community. And we would then, move forward to try to relocate or, just make sure that Jeanne Peek survives.
Right.
That whole...
Is your dad still alive, or is he deceased?
Actually, my dad passed away in 90, I think it was 98.
Oh, so he never saw you in this. Do you think he's got a little smile on his face then?
I'm sure that he's looking down
and
smiling.
Good.
Yeah, I've actually been with the agency for 5 years.
Oh, okay.
I started out as a volunteer after my marketing company sort of phased out. I became a volunteer at Jeanne Peek, and then somehow got hooked into it. Like I said, once they hook you in, you just can't get away.
Well, Jeannie, it's been a pleasure. I just would like to say for the record, I've known Jeannie for quite a few years. I'm also one of the executive directors of the Jeanne Peek House, of the CHOP, I should say, Caring for the Homeless of Peekskill. The work that Jeannie does and her staff is phenomenal. As a matter of fact, I happen to be one of the people, the committee, to select Jeannie as the director. I'm very proud of that fact, so I applaud your accomplishments. And once again, that's a wrap for the Volpe Report. Just want to remind everybody that we're going to be on Channel 15, Public Access Channel 15 on Thursday nights, 8 p.m. in the Peekskill, Cortland area, and Channel 74 Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. in the Yorktown and Putnam Valley area. So if anyone would like to issue give us any comments about the show, directly call Jeannie at 736-2636 for the shelter for the Jeanne Peek House, or for any topics you'd like to hear, please contact us anytime. Thank you very much, and have a great night.
That went fast.